everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is Madden 17 on EA Sports. We've got a good one on tap today, and there's going to be two quarterbacks ready to get it done on the gridiron. It's great. For the call, let's send you out to the broadcast booth, where we'll join our commentators, Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
All right, thanks, Larry. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the heart of Texas at NRG Stadium in Houston. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the New England Patriots and the Houston Texans. Hi again, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Guyton. And you know, Charles, as Larry pointed where off here this afternoon, that ball's probably going to be flying all over the place, isn't it?
Oh, without a doubt. And the game has never been more quarterback-centric than it is now. And both of these teams have top-flight signal callers.
Here's Steven Gostkowski now to kick this one off. Get strapped in. It's just about time to get the party started. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Houston Texans sitting at 6-3 atop the AFC South. Brock Osweiler, though, did not play well in Week 10 despite the win against the Jags. Charles, he was under 100 yards, did have 2 touchdowns. So
bottom line, won the game. And I think that's what they'll focus on. And behind the scenes, they're going to work really hard on getting this passing game in sync. But, you know, Will Fuller didn't play. Jalen Strong didn't play. But they won by 3 over Jacksonville. They're 6-3 on the year, and they lead the AFC South. They'll take that and continue to work.
Devin McCourty brings him down. They'll run it again with Miller. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9. So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9.
All right, here we go.
From the shotgun, Osweiler. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe-tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
Toward the sideline, and look at that. Catch, dragging the toe. And that's going to be a first down. Well done.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
This is Miller, and he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
No matter what defense is called versus a running play, linebackers are telling the defensive guys up front, you take care of the offensive line, keep us uncovered, let us run to the ball, we'll make big plays. Well, that paid off there. All the guys up front, the big fellas, they controlled the 5 offensive linemen. That allowed the linebackers to see the openings, sprint through the gap, and snuff that play out in a hurry.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive.
3rd and 11, 5 in the secondary now.
Nickel look. From the gun, it's Osweiler. He finds his target, Fuller. And he's brought down after a good gain. A nice gain of 21 yards.
Well, the advantage has certainly shifted to the defense as we began that 3rd down play, and they found a way to foil it and pick up a first down.
3rd time's a charm, right? 2 incompletions. Had to have it on 3rd, and they got it.
Yeah, they stuck with it, weren't daunted at all, and picked it up.
Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. 2nd down following the run. So the pickup there for Lamar Miller, and he actually shredded his current team last year when he played against them. 175 yards, another 61 in the air, and 2 touchdowns.
I guess that's a classic example of if you can't stop him, go get him, put him on your team. Lamar Miller, a big-time pickup for the Texans.
Now this now, play number 9 on the opening drive, but it's 3rd and long.
One thing I know, defensive coaches love it when they don't have to invite their players to the party. This strong safety, you never have to ask him twice to help him run.
Now he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down. Rob Ninkovich coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
And that field goal caps an 11-play drive.
That's a lot of offense to run to only get 3 points, but they'll take them. Anytime you can put anything on the board, you run to your sideline somewhat happy.
And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. So now we get a look in New England and Tom Brady coming off just their 2nd loss of the season. Seattle beat him 31-24. And something interesting in that game, Tom Brady threw an interception. The Patriots, that's news. The Patriots had not thrown an interception all year, 258 passes without doing so.
And that would mean Jimmy Garoppolo, Jacoby Brissett. I know people thought Julian Edelman might eventually end up being the guy who's going to throw the ball, but he hasn't so far this year. That is an absolutely amazing, astounding stat. 258 passes before the first interception, spread over 3 quarterbacks.
Now Brady throwing on 2nd down. And a first hookup with his all-pro tight end, Rob Gronkowski. A good pickup there of 20 yards. And with Gronkowski, the buzz after the Seahawks game was that 4th down fade pattern. Was it the right call? Did Cam Chancellor hold? What did you see?
I have a lot of people that I work with that go crazy whenever they see a fade ball. They're like, that play never works. But I don't believe that to be true. I think that it's a very effective play when run correctly. And the problem that they had on that play, Gronk was being defended by Cam Chancellor, who is also a big body safety. They're like 2 mastodons in the end zone. I was glad that there was no flag. Let them work it out themselves. Incomplete.
It's a gain of 5 on the play, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
This is White on the screen. A big gain of 31 on 3rd down.
What really hurts defenses on screen passes is that they eat up one of their levels right away. Because, you know, most defenses, 3 levels. D-line, linebacker, secondary. But on a screen pass, you're inviting the defensive line to get past them, and you throw the ball over their heads, and now there's just 2 levels left to try and stop big guys out in front of a guy running with the football. But when it comes to the running game, the New England Patriots, they're one of the few teams in the NFL that I don't think care much about balancing things out.
Last year, to your point, 5th in passing yardage, number 30 in the run game.
What they want to do each and every week is make a game plan based on their opponent, not so much their own personnel, and they try to attack that way.
Now Brady. This will be caught at about the 6. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So the drive takes him inside the 10, but it ends with just 3.
And a nice job defensively to rise up and make sure they didn't get in.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll probably wish he reconsidered here. It'll cost him 10 yards now with a new rule as he's down at the 15-yard line. Let's chat about the division dominance for the Texans as they come back onto the field. They've won 8 straight games against the AFC South after that Week 10 win.
They've really taken over for Indianapolis, haven't they? Because it wasn't that long ago we were conceding this division to Indianapolis each and every year. Now, it's Houston's. 8 straight, as you just mentioned. Longest active streak in the NFL right now. And by the way, maybe I'm getting ahead of myself, but the Super Bowl is being played in Houston this year.
They come up in an offset eye. On 2nd down, here's Miller. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Only a gain of a couple there. That leaves them needing about 7 here on 3rd down. So following the run, we'll see what they do here on 3rd down.
Tough day. Tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Drops it to Blue, complete. And he's able to pick up the 1st down here before he goes down at the 26.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football.
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him, and he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
It's a 5-receiver set, 3 to the left, 2 to the right. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff.
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time. Really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3. The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback.
And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. C.J. Fedorowicz, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Texans are in for 6. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
And now out come the Patriots. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bad.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
And he's brought down after a good gain. A big pickup there on the run. 31 yards. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels.
One of the good things offenses did years ago was they lettered their gaps the same on each side. A gap between guard and center on either side. That's what you want to control when you're trying to run the ball up the middle.
And why is that?
Because typically you either have a big nose guard in there in an odd front, 3-man front, or you have defensive tackles that might line up in the A-gaps trying to gain an advantage and get upfield themselves. If you can control that, it gives the back plenty of space to pick and choose where to go.
And there, a great inside run, broke the contact and got some space. Ah, yes, Brady to Gronk. You think these two are in sync?
Without a doubt. And look, they both understand what they can do for each other. Gronk knows if he gets open, the ball's going to be there. And Tom Brady knows what a great security blanket Gronk is. When all else fails, you find big 87. One of the notes I had about LeGarrette Blount coming out of college, he's not going to outrun you, but he will run through.
And he is in. Touchdown, New England. Brandon Bolden taking it in from a yard out. And the Patriots are within an extra point of tying this one up.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident.
Now the ball's out. Osweiler lost it. And it's picked up by the Patriots. And a tough turnover there, as now they will have it at the 6-yard line, 1st and goal.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to not go down and fumble the ball.
Boy, that's a lot of sirloin steak to be taken down for no gain, partner.
Are you trying to suggest that he is a huge man?
He is
not just a big man, a huge man.
Big boy.
Well, how about the credit then for the defense to be able to chop that big tree and put him on the ground?
I know back when you played, it took 4 of you to take a guy like that down, right?
Well, that's for sure. And you know what else? I didn't want to challenge him at dinner either.
Brady to throw on 3rd and 1. And this is caught. Touchdown, Patriots. Chris Hogan there to make the grab. And the Patriots have moved out in front. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting runs. So much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That could be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
You know, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. They'll run it now out of the gun. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. Offense trying to avoid stalling out, facing a 3rd and 10. So a couple failed attempts here for the ground game, assuming you pass here on third.
Doesn't look like you're getting anywhere running the ball at all, so I would agree with you on that one. You got to think about going to the air.
And got his man complete. Touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller, 78 yards. And the Texans are an extra point away from tying this football game. Well, that was the fly route for a touchdown, and since he caught that one and scored it, I got to tell the story. Before the game, we were standing there. He was running deep routes, dropped one. It bounced up and just hit me right in the gut, and I said, come on, man, but there was no drop.
Yeah, you okay now?
I'm good.
All right, good. We got the ice pack up here. You're just fine. What I loved about it was the subtlety of the route, because everyone knows he's fast. They're going to play him for that route first and foremost, but sometimes it's a head fake. It's varying your speed off the line of scrimmage. It's giving the defensive back different angles to think about. Is he going inside? Is he going outside? And then, as you noted, he just took off past him. Oops, there he goes again.
And he'll get this up to about the 40. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Offense in a good spot here, 2nd and 2. Brady to throw on 2nd down. Screen pass to Blunt. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40.
And that was a beautifully executed screen pass. They let the rushers get upfield and get the escorts in front, meaning the offensive linemen, other blockers out in front, completed the pass beautifully. So now you've got all that open space with big guys leading the way.
Jadeveon Clowney there on the stop.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
To throw is Brady. He gets it into the hands of Gronkowski, complete. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Call it a pickup of 7, and it'll make it 2nd down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Now it's Boulder, and nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right?
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. Their big tight end, a 14-yard touchdown. And the Patriots have moved out in front. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field, punch it in the end zone again. They know it's not easy, but what they do have going for them, they did score the last time. They think they've got a good formula working.
And what about the defense?
Well, now you're just saying to yourself, okay, we gave up a score last time. What adjustments do we need to make to slow them down now and get the ball back for our own offense? Is it more pressure? Is it more zone? What do they have to do? They're trying to figure that out themselves.
We'll see if they can figure that out right here. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
And on the left side, Fedorowicz has it. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
He's going to break our statistician Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit. But get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field. That selection of a draw play felt a lot like, hey, we've thrown it a bunch, we can catch them off guard, instead of staying with what was actually working.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
From the gun on third down, Osweiler finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And brought down, but the juke, the very nice juke, gives him the first down yardage there. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is now with his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
At the end of one, it's a close game here early on. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Head & Shoulders. Shoulders were made for greatness, not dandruff.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10.
All right, now look at 56.
On 1st and 10, it's Osweiler. Right side, caught Fedorowicz. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is. To cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And put a really nice game right there on 1st down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them.
Oh, just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense.
4 down, check. Over.
They'll try to run for it with Miller. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
Man, wasn't that long ago that the guy playing that spot was an outside linebacker type of a guy. Now, as a defensive end, how about the speed that he used to get into the backfield and make the play?
And Novak's kick is good. And that'll bring him back within 4. So 2 first-half field goals now for a guy who, and you hate to give him the tag a journeyman, but it's fair to say, Charles, he's been around in his career.
Yeah, it's more have leg will travel for him. He is a guy that's bounced around a bit, but he can still stroke him when called upon, just as he did right there.
Now the Patriots gearing up to go now. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored one, the defense throws at them, get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around.
You know, some teams use the running game just to bludgeon people. I think that Brady to Gronk does the exact same thing for them. Long, short, medium, they know how to connect.
In ways that sort of revolutionized the quarterback-tight end relationship. They can go, as you've told me before, they go medium, they can go short, they go long.
And the way that Gronk is used, he's not just a tight end. Oftentimes they'll put him on the backside of formation as a single wide receiver, and he runs routes exactly that way.
It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage, if he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
Brandon, with the way things are going with Tom Brady finding Gronk as many times as he has in this game and the team is winning, I think at some point maybe even Brady will do the Gronk dance.
Well, if he does that Gronk dance, Davis, that means you have to do that Gronk dance.
Trust me, partner, no one wants to see me do the Gronk dance.
Your wife?
No one.
Brady with a give to Bolden. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Now Brady. This will be caught inside the 10. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. And the 8th play on this drive coming up.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field, become dependable targets for their quarterbacks, and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold. You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me. Good blocking?
Well, good block.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. LeGarrette Blount, a 10-yard touchdown run. And the Patriots add 6 to their lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's Brock Osweiler and the Texan offense playing pretty well, but in the second quarter, you look up your team's losing. I don't think any quarterback's satisfied.
Not at all. And what they're really seeking is, how do I play even better and inspire my teammates to do exactly the same in order for us to get back on top on the scoreboard. That's when you find out you have a quarterback. If they're just satisfied with their stat line,
they're not really a leader.
Not at all. You just have a guy playing the position.
On second down, here's Osweiler. And he's got it. Fedorowicz. It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll be 3rd down.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight. Doesn't really matter, because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. Toward the sidelines, did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge, and that's good enough for a first down. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Now Osweiler, he's got Fuller. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short. And let's discuss Osweiler a little bit further. Obviously an interesting journey for him to get here to Houston.
Groomed in Denver and actually got to play some before he ended up making his departure to Houston. But after the Broncos won the Super Bowl.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
The game plan for any defense is finding ways to make a quarterback uncomfortable in the pocket. When you bring pressure from all angles, you never know who's going to get home. In this case, the left cornerback, right in the face of him, puts him down.
On third down, Osweiler. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. They were trying to get the connection with a former Buckeye, Braxton Miller, and it's fourth down. Now a man who turned 40 back in August. He might not like me for that one, but it's true. Shane Leckler, the 40-year-old, on to punt it away. Back deep, Danny Amendola for New England. And he'll go ahead and field this at the 5. And now it looks like he's in some discomfort after being tackled at the end of that return. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. They'll begin here with Blunt. And that closed up quickly there as he gets it up only to about the 17. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. See if they stay on the ground for second down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. Second and 8.
Rob Gronkowski. There he goes. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. Rob Gronkowski, 82 yards. And the Patriots add on to their lead.
I know guys who design defenses, they try to prepare for everything. But you ignore the guy who plays tight end at your own peril.
Yeah, and he's like having another wide receiver out there sometimes, right?
Exactly right, because they're such a matchup nightmare, and they're hybrid guys. Are they receivers? Are they big guys that block? How about the one we just saw there? Catch it and go. Run after catch. All the way into the end zone.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. And now out comes Houston. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
They go play action now. Osweiler. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Dante Hightower. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
An extra corner on the field for New England here on third down.
Yeah, another DB. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust an account? And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Jabal Sheard. He's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks are going to bring up a fourth down. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Patriots will have great starting position as they take over 1st and 10. Here comes Tom Brady and the Patriot offense back onto the field. And how about the start so far, Charles? 3 first-half touchdown passes.
And that's how you generate excitement on a team keep your offense moving at a really high level. And it's also how you establish leadership, by playing that well. 3 touchdown passes, that's the way to lead.
Now he's just hoping for number 4. Wide open, Gronkowski. And he's brought down after a good gain.
Seeing Rob Gronkowski run that flag route brings back memories of high school for me, because I remember my coach being so detailed with the receivers about how to sell the inside part of the route, like you're going to the post, and then breaking it off for that flag towards that pylon. And how about Gronk? Once he does that, who's going to be able to go through that big body and stop it?
Not me.
Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
And he slings one that's incomplete. Malcolm Mitchell out of the University of Georgia was the intended receiver. And now it's 3rd down. And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. Now Brady, quickly to Gronkowski. That's caught. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up 4th down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Here's the battering ram Blunt, and he's able to pick up the 1st down before he's tackled right at the 10.
Wow, I'll tell you, he got a good spot on that one. It's 4th and 2, and he might have gotten 2 and an inch, but that's all he needed, and that'll keep the drive moving.
They'll run again with Blunt. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
From the 3 now, here they come on 3rd and goal.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really...
And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. LeGarrette Blunt, he scored on the ground and through the air. And the Patriots add 6 to their lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. The safety, Patrick Chung, is the one who makes the stop.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
It appears that the pressure is affecting him today. Normally, he knows exactly when to get rid of the football, but today, because he's been hit a few times, he's getting rid of it a little bit too quickly.
From the gun on 3rd down, Osweiler. He finds his target, Fuller. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10.
But he was stopped on that play. We've had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
Taking it right down Broadway. Touchdown, Houston. Jalen Strong, 63 yards. And the Texans get a bit closer.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Now it's Novak on. He'll send this one away following the touchdown. This is taken at his 4. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Now the Patriots offense, they worked their way back out onto the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. And passing yardage-wise, now up over 350 in this game. Pretty nice performance.
Definitely that, which usually means you're putting a lot of pressure on guys trying to cover. If you're a defensive back and they put over 350 yards on you, you've had a long day. The key to everything, if you're doing it without throwing interceptions or turning the ball over. Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
So the run gets him the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs. Again, here's Blunt. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
And over the middle to the tight end, Bennett. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Have we yet met a receiver that wasn't excited about getting a chance to play with Tom Brady?
Absolutely not.
And Martellus Bennett bringing his considerable skills to New England now. Going to hook up with Mr. Brady for another completion here.
Yeah, 90 catches a couple years ago in Chicago, 53 last year for Bennett. Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
That's caught at the 3. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1 yard line. Call it a gain of 5, and that'll make it 2nd and goal. Now, this will be the 9th play on this drive. He had time, was able to survey the field, and find a soft spot in that zone coverage.
And that's where it gets difficult for a defender, Brandon.
And that's going to be caught for a Patriot touchdown. Malcolm Mitchell there to make the grab. And the Patriots add on to their lead. So 2nd and goal there from the 1. They go to the air.
And the perfect down to throw the football in this sequence. 2nd down is always kind of that. Do they throw it? Do they run it? They worked it out to perfection on that one by throwing it into the end zone.
The point after try for Gostkowski. And they open the lead up now to 25 points. Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and he'll take over at the 25. And now out comes Houston. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
Now Osweiler on 2nd down. Surveying the field. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will have the highlights and analysis of this first half from our studios in Orlando.
And I have a feeling those highlights will be pretty one-sided, too.
I think you're right, partner. Now a run. This is Alfred Blue. And he is going to loss of 1.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you've got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Jones on the return. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Patriots take over. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
I want to shift for a second and talk playoff picture. Yes, we've got a few more weeks, but the NFC East and the AFC West, if it ended today, would both have 3 teams in.
And right now, the NFC East essentially has 4 because Dallas is clear of the field. But Washington, New York, and Philadelphia really bunched in there. And then you go to the AFC West. Kansas City owns a tiebreaker over Oakland, and Denver also right there, the defending Super Bowl champs.
And he gets it to the 34, good enough for the first. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
And you know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Yeah, everyone dialed in. On first down, Brady. And that's caught. Did he stay in bounds, though? He did not. Ruled incomplete.
That was a nice grab. Just couldn't get the feet down, right? You needed that toe tap sequence there. Whatever size shoe he's wearing, probably need about a half size smaller to complete that one.
It's caught. Mitchell. And he's brought down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. On first and 10, here's Brady. Screen pass to Blount. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Again, it's Brady. This is complete to guess who? Gronkowski again. And he's going to get into the end zone. So cue up the Gronk spike. It's a Patriot touchdown. Rob Gronkowski in the final seconds of the first half. And the Patriots continue to roll. And he knocks it through. Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we send you over to our headquarters in Orlando, where we check in with Larry Ridley for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Thanks, Brandon. Thanks, Charles. And welcome to our EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. The Texans have been worked over in the first half and trail big right now. The Patriots have done whatever they want, and they'll just try to keep that up in the second half. So let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Third down from inside the 10. The pass will be caught over the middle, and he'd cap off the 9-play drive with a TD. The Texans is up now by 7. First and 10. The ball's going to come out on the run. Now after the fumble, the pass will be completed on the slant. This play goes for a score. Patriots up by a touchdown. Texans with the ball, end of the first. The quick pass and completion is made, and this will go for a touch. Texans all tied now at 17. Third down from inside the 20. Broken coverage here on the pass play. And after the short pass, he'll score. That takes the lead up to 7. Patriots take it at the 11. Lutz is going to cruise off the right side, and he'd go in for the 11-yard touchdown. The lead now at 11. Now 2nd and 8. Brady's going to complete the pass from the gun. And that is a house call. That takes the lead up to 18. halfway through the second. Here we get a quick pass and completion, and this 5-play drive goes for a touchdown, closing the gap to 18. Patriots have it at the 27. Gronkowski is wide open, able to make the grab, and he's going to go 27 yards for the score. The Patriots continue to dominate.
All right, Larry, indeed a one-sided affair to this point as we get set for half two. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. Now Jones. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So the Patriots coming out now. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. The former 7th-round pick, Julian Edelman, just continues to have such a productive career.
And has made himself into a receiver. Remember, he was a college quarterback, and not just a productive one, a very good one.
At Kent State, right?
Yes, a great leader, a guy who could make plays with his feet and his arm. Got to the NFL and had to convert into being a receiver and was drafted that way. And that conversion, oh boy, it's been good.
They come up in an offset eye. Brady gives now to Blunt. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Over the middle, that's caught by Hogan. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. Well, he flew past 200, 300, 400 yards. Now he's over 450 yards passing on the day.
So what you're saying is oxygen for everyone catching the ball and trying to defend?
Yeah, especially those guys trying to defend right now.
No doubt. They've got to be a confused group because they haven't been able to defend him very well at all. And I think he just wants to keep firing. When you have that kind of a day, you're just locked in. Just keep calling those pass plays. And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard.
Came up about a yard short, but I can't help it, Brandon. I love it when the big guy gets the football and he tries to battle his way forward. There's something about those guys carrying the ball and watching people trying to stop them. That's just great theater.
And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line.
Well, when you got a running back who's already gone over 100 yards for the game, you can bet he'll be involved on 4th and short. He's been tough for this defense to handle all game long, and he converts here to keep the drive moving.
They run with Bolden. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. And this seemingly endless drive continues. So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it was the defense getting it done again and holding them to no gain.
Back-to-back 1-yard runs here, so that leaves them with a 3rd down and 8.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on the play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position. Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. So they get 3. They were hoping for 6. An unlucky number 13 play drive.
Well, you go to the sideline after putting 3 points on the board, happy but you wanted to be ecstatic. You wanted to have 6 on the board. On the opposite sideline, though, the defense, I think they're high-fiving each other, only giving up 3 after letting them run that much offense.
Let's go. Back 99, Willie. Here we go.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Second down following the run.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Lamar Miller. Touchdown, Houston. Lamar Miller, 71 yards. And the Texans are in for 6. And those are the highlight reel runs you dream of right there.
When he gets a seam and just gets through it, how about the explosiveness, the burst to get there to begin with, and then once he's in full gallop, good luck trying to track him down.
And those plays so demoralizing for the defense.
Absolutely, because you've done so much work trying to keep people in front of you. When they're past you and behind you, that's a tough one to swallow.
And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
Illegal block in the back. Return team. Automatic first down.
Now the Patriot offense set to take over again. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And these numbers on our monitor are getting hard to believe. He's closing in now right on the doorstep of 500 yards passing.
I'm glad that you watched the monitor and said it first because I had trouble absorbing that. That's big time right there, right? That means everything just about has gone right for them and his squad in this game. Let's see if they can keep it up.
Goes right side, complete to Gronk. And he's brought down after a good gain. A big play there for the Patriots. 33 yards. Now the offense lining up 1st and 10.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and end of the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
And now inside the red zone, the offense will operate.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Here's Brady to throw. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, 3rd quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot, but they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall. So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
So 3 field goals for him here, and this last one helps him stretch out the lead.
And he's been solid as usual. And this is what you need to do. Make sure you get points out of every possession. And so far, they've done a nice job of that.
And last year, that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year, he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee, and that's at the 25. And we focus on Lamar Miller as he heads back out there and gets set to go again on offense. He is fully awake now. If he didn't get off to the start that he normally does, they've got his attention. He's running it well.
You think they set off the alarm clock at the half? I think that's what went down. I know this, having played on the defensive side of the ball, if you do a really good job against a great runner, and you go into the half, you're excited, you're fired up, you think the game plan is working, but in the back of your head, there's that little bit of nagging doubt. Can we do this for 4 quarters? So far, that's not happening.
Now a 20th carry of the game for Lamar Miller. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And this is going to be incomplete. Jalen Strong, the intended receiver, and it brings up 4th down.
Well, I've got to give him some credit there. He tried to sell the out route, tried to sell it hard. And as a receiver, what you're really trying to do is maneuver a defender inside to give yourself a little more cushion breaking to the out. But how about the defender reading it really well, not buying the fake or the maneuver inside, and getting to the sideline and helping break up the pass?
And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. The Patriot offense now set to come back out onto the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking. And I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
15 yards through the air and a 1st down.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
And he's going to find Hogan here, complete. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone, and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
And there's another completion to the tight end, and let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
Now Brady throwing on 2nd down, and he dumps it off to Blunt. And he's brought down. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. 1st down and 10 now for the offensive group. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is. To not look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. Brandon Bolden, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Patriots are pouring it on. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. He'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. They come out here in the eye. They begin with a run by Miller. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Houston, and this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. See if they stay on the ground for second down.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue, line it.
Out of the gun, it's Osweiler. Strong grabs it over the middle, and they're able to get this one across the 35. And on 2nd and 10 now. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. On 2nd down, here's Osweiler. Wide open receiver, complete. A big play there on the catch and run. 72 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown,
want 2.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the second one.
They'll try to punch it in with Miller. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. He got halfway home there, down to the 1, but a good job of keeping him out of the end zone.
Exactly. Halfway home isn't all the way home, right? So they feel pretty good about keeping him out on that play.
Defense may be thinking pass, and he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. Lamar Miller with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Texans claw 1 back.
Well, I do have 1 word for that touchdown for you, partner. You ready?
Yeah.
Cosmetics.
Just makes things look a little better. I don't know. It's like putting lipstick on a pig.
Yeah, and it's hard to do, too. And the pig doesn't like the lipstick a heck of a lot, but you do like the fact that they're battling down the stretch, still trying to put something on the board, even though this game is over.
By the way, how rude is that to the pig? Look at all the things they give us. Pulled pork, bacon. The Patriots offense now. They work their way back onto the field. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, run, pass. Defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a bead on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit with play action and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out.
And that's one of the few times they've been able to contain him. He's had a heck of a game, and maybe he's getting a little bit tired from how many times he's carried the ball. But I always think back to what all those old coaches say. The ball's not that heavy. Keep carrying it, kid.
Amendola catching it left side. He gets 7 out of it, and he also gets a first.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. 7 yards to go on 2nd down.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player. And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front, they moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42.
Football's such a game of tendencies, down and distance, and on 3rd and inches, 3rd and 1, you'd think, yeah, the fullback's probably going to get the ball, but when you get to 3rd and 2, most of the time that's either the running back or a pass play. So that's a nice tendency breaker by the offensive team there, hand it to their big guy to pick up a first down. Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You can control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
Just a couple on the ground there. That's going to bring up 3rd and about 6. And they'll be in search of 6 yards here on 3rd down. This is now the 9th play of the drive.
We know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game. A short game that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. Here's Blunt. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. It's a 4-yard pickup, and they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down.
Well, if it's 4th and 4, 4th and 5, maybe you think about the field goal there. But on 4th and 1, this is a way to tell your offense, hey, I believe in you. You can do this. And sure enough, they're going to pick up the first down.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
4th quarter with a lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on 1st down. They did that plus 3. And that's a nice pickup of a 1st down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
They'll run again with Bolden. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. A gain of 3, 2nd down. And a really long drive here, and it goes on and on. They'll run it here with Blunt. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big people because they're going to have to eat them.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. Rob Gronkowski, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Patriots continue to roll.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know that plenty of people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right. And now out comes Houston. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent, but you've got to set it aside right now and just focus on this series. That'll take care of the scoreboard if they punch it into the end zone. A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. Again, Osweiler gets it to Strong. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Osweiler, and he's got him over the middle. Fedorowicz. A gain of 4 on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
And to the left side, Fedorowicz has it. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. And this will probably be the final play before the 2-minute warning.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players. Somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Now Osweiler on first down. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Again on 2nd and 10 now. It's Osweiler. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. And now they're in the hurry-up. On 1st and 10, it's Osweiler. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Jabal Sheard in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. On 2nd down, Osweiler. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be out of bounds all the way down at the 6.
Well, it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
And this is caught. Well, they get one back.
Unfortunately, I'm having too many flashbacks right now. I remember getting beat down like this playing before.
Oh, yeah? College, high school?
College. Not a heck of a lot of fun. I still remember playing and trying to tackle an elusive tailback who ended up scoring 4 touchdowns, 226 yards. He scored so many times and had so many great runs, I knew every note to their school's fight song.
Bet that ice bath felt extra cold afterwards, too.
Oh, no, there was no ice bath. You're just trying to get out of there before the reporters got to you.
And now out come the Patriots. They come into enemy territory, and I don't care what the matchup is in the National Football League. You're up like this late in the game on the road. This feels pretty good.
Oh, it feels fantastic. Anytime you get a road victory in the NFL, that's a big-time accomplishment, and to do it this convincingly, that just tears up the script that every home team has, which is nobody comes into our house and pushes us around. They took care of business today.
Yeah, they pushed around, and now the final stages of this one. And he's going to take this one down to about the 46-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Offense staying ahead of the chains here, 2nd and 3. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. Brady going to try and throw on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. The wideout Chris Hogan, the intended receiver. And that brings up 4th down.
Really good, smart play by the defense, understanding third and short, guarding the first down sticks, and being able to make a play on the football and bat it down.
Now Blunt. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. It'll be a gain of 4. And on 4th down, they're able to convert and move the sticks.
4th and 1. I don't think Wild Horses could have dragged that quarterback off the field. He was motioning to go for it from the start. And sure enough, it's the ground game that gets him the first down.
And he'll be stopped up quickly here at the 38. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. So long from Houston.